Hello, welcome to the Middlesex Chamber Today. My name is John Guerin, and it's a pleasure to be with you once again as we talk about the Middlesex County Chamber of Commerce, its activities, events, so many things that they have going on, committees, councils, etc., etc. Today, it's an event, and it's a big event. It's the annual Business Expo, and we have as our guest for the program the chair of that event, Lou Brockett. Welcome, Lou.
Well, thank you very much, John. It's good to be here. I look forward to being with you here on this show today.
Yeah, and usually, as I like to do at the beginning of each program, I think most people know now, especially if they've watched over the years, that the chamber and virtually everything that goes on there is really made possible through volunteers.
That's correct.
That means you do something else in real life other than being chair of the Business Expo. So why don't you give a brief introduction so our viewers have a better idea who you are?
Sure, no problem. I am the owner of A Second Chance CPR and First Aid Training, LLC. And basically what my job is, go out teaching. I'm an American Heart Association training center. I'm also the training center coordinator. And then we teach EMT programs as well and security guard training. And then I'm traveling for a company out in the West Coast there called Health Safety Institute, where I'm their national training, going to different federal government jobs as well as other places to do training in CPR and first aid.
So you keep yourself busy.
Yes, sir.
Very good. And we were talking about some extracurriculars. Maybe we'll get into that before the end of the program.
Sure.
But we're here today to talk about, again, what has become just a signature event for the Chamber of Commerce here in Middlesex County, and that is the Business Expo. And why don't we lead off by just giving people an idea when this is all coming up?
Well, the expo itself is going to appear on Monday, September 28th from 11:30 to 7. From 11:30 to 4 will be open for the general public, and then for the members of the chamber, they'll have from 4 to 7 to have their executive time.
Oh, very nice. Okay, so we're a little earlier this year than we've been the past few years.
Yes, sir. This is usually we're in October, November time frame. However, this year we're starting in September, right after the Durham Fair, matter of fact.
Very good, very good. Following Durham Fair, that should be a very good time span as far as working with that. Now, for people who haven't ever attended a Business Expo, what can they expect to see there?
Well, we have a variety of different types of companies that are there to show off what they have for as far as business, as well as also maybe possible employment, and also other curricular activities for them to possibly do. Sometimes they have a drawing that goes on. Every hour we have a drawing there so that we get donated prizes from companies throughout the area itself. And who knows, you might be the lucky person to win a great prize.
Yeah, it is. It sounds like it always has been a great time. I've got to say that participation at the event is amazing. And by the way, where is it going to take place?
It's going to take place over at the Crown Plaza in Cromwell, Connecticut. And the Crown has been there for I've been with the Chamber now for the last 12 years. Yep. And I'll tell you, they put on a great event for us, open up the spaces and all so that we could hold all the different activities that are going on there and all. And the staff over at the Crown is very pleasant.
So again, people can, and there's plenty of parking with the garage behind the hotel and all around the hotel as well.
That is correct. Between the hotel and then across the street, we have one of our other hotels that assist lawn parking as well. And so folks could come in, enjoy the day, and I'll tell you, hopefully, like Larry always says, the sun always shines in Middlesex County.
And let's hope for good weather. It certainly helps any event, but this one is indoors, so it's really a matter of getting there. And once you're there, you can be inside and enjoy yourself for several hours with all of the things to see and people to talk to, etc.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And I mean, the activities, like we'll have the ribbon cutting ceremony at 11:15, and then at 11:30, excuse me, at 11:30 we have the opening. We have a luncheon that's going on. Right. That's being sponsored by Comcast, business class, and the guest speaker for that is Commissioner Catherine Smith, who is from the Connecticut DECD, and we'll also have our annual Small Business Awards that'll be awarded at that time, as well as the expo itself being open for folks to come around and just take a nice little walk.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, and usually the vendors have many giveaways. So often one of the things to do is bring a little bag along with you. You probably pick one up along the way too from some of the vendors, but all kinds of great things that are handed out that can be very handy for business or home.
And that's one of the key things. I remember a couple years ago, I had a whole bunch of candy sitting on the table, and this one woman came over and it says, take one, and she was sneaking around, looking around, and all of a sudden put a couple handfuls. I'm like, not a problem. As long as they're happy, that's what counts.
And I bet there was a stash that you keep underneath the table.
All the time. Got to have a stash, so that way there at 4 o'clock, when all the members come in, we have a little bit extra.
Right. And now that's something that's of interest too. Again, it's really a two-part event. Now you had mentioned that, the idea of for the public.
Correct.
And for chamber members. So why don't we go into that just a little bit in terms of, what is the difference between the two, and, what should people who are not members in terms of getting there for the public presentation, what they might expect?
Well, some of the key things that we have going on throughout the day itself. One, at 11:30 to 2:30, we're going to have a Middlesex County Fall Career Fair.
Okay.
The Chamber offers a career fair twice a year, and this year, and as well as last year, we had many vendors there looking for people that needed employment. Mm-hmm. And so from 11:30 to 2:30, with that one event that's going on there, it gives folks that are from the outside that have never been to an expo before, we're kind of like three things going on at one time during the day. And that's one of the most important things. The second thing, from 11:30 to 7, we also have our wellness and health fair going on.
Okay.
Middlesex Hospital for the last couple of years has been coming there, setting up tables for people wellness, coming in. Sometimes they have the massage therapist, which is kind of nice. They've had a little bit of Reiki and a couple other things. And the most important thing is you can come and get your flu shot. Mm-hmm. Last year we gave over 100 flu shots. The year before that was about 130. So it's an opportunity for folks to come out there. If they need to get a flu shot, they'll take you, they'll sit you down. I get mine every year. I wait for the health fair to come around with the expo itself so I can turn around and get my shot. And then we have something new this year. We have from 11:30 to 7 also, we have R.J. Julia presenting an author book signing.
Oh, okay.
And that's something different that we haven't done in the past. We've had some luncheons where we had book signings and stuff.
Sure.
But we're also going to have a book signing that day, as well as for folks from 11:30 to 4, that's from the general public or even businesses, to come in and look at other businesses. Mm-hmm. What do they have to offer that could assist each other? And one of the most important things is networking.
Right.
And today we really have to network on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then from 4 to 7, well, the nice thing about the membership time is that now the hotel also sponsors a little wine and beer, some soda, and of course, food. You can never have an event unless you got food at it. Mm-hmm. And so we usually get around 1,200 folks that come out to that as well.
Right.
So that's an important time.
Well, and again, too, I think for a lot of our viewers, especially if they're new viewers, the Middlesex County Chamber is one of the largest chambers, not just here in Connecticut, but throughout New England, throughout the East, and in many ways throughout the country in terms of its membership. So when you get a turnout of 1,200 people, it's really not surprising. It's like seeing the members who turn out for chamber member breakfasts and
right.
for all these other things. You get for a breakfast meeting to have anywhere from 400 to 800 people is almost unheard of elsewhere, but it's pretty commonplace as far as Middlesex County Chamber is concerned.
Yes, it is.
Which is terrific. Now, as far as sponsorship.
Yes, sir.
I know sponsorships are critical for putting on any event, and this is a big one. There's a lot that goes into this one. Who are your key? Let's talk about, because I know we probably can't get to every single sponsor.
Right.
But certainly, who are some of your key sponsors who are helping to make it possible this year?
Well, our presenting sponsors are Comcast Business and UKS. They're our top two. And then we have our platinum sponsors, Aetna, CIT, Pratt & Whitney, Eversource, Crown Plaza, Tower Laboratories. And then after that, we break down into our gold sponsors, such as Bank of America, Communications Renewal Team, People's United, and we also have a titanium sponsor, which is the Connecticut Lottery System. Okay. And then we have our smaller branches for folks that are either the silver or the bronze. Mm-hmm. And one of the key things there is, again, we have like A&A Office System, DACO Inc., For the bronze side, we have a Second Chance CPR, Lyman Orchards, executive offices, health markets. So I mean, it's just a few of the businesses around that help put together so that we can make this thing really run as well as it is.
Right. And as far as your presenting sponsors, I think most people know who Comcast Business is, but some may not be familiar with UKS.
Yeah, they're a law firm, worldwide law firm and all, that basically takes care of their clients and everything else. And I mean, this is something that's one of the key things. They helped us out last year, put a booth up for the first time, and now they're joined us as a major sponsor.
Oh, that is terrific. That is terrific. And that is the way it has really gone with Business Expo almost from year one. It's been just amazing how vendors and businesses have lined up to become presenters at the Expo. Is there still a waiting list?
We still have a couple of booths left open, which
Oh,
usually
that's
we're sold out
unusual.
really well.
Yeah.
And I think it is because of the summertime and it being so early this year, people are sitting back going, oh, I got time. And now here it is September, and now they're going, oh my goodness, what are we going to do?
Sure.
And so, yes, we're filling up pretty fast, so if they need to, they could definitely try to still call over to the chamber itself.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, and again, so any of you businesses out there, if you're seeing this early in September rather than later in the month, not a bad idea to give a call. And who should they contact, Lou?
Over there, they could contact Johanna Bond, Danielle, or any of the other members at the chamber itself and all to open up and just let them know that they're calling about the Business Expo.
Very good, yeah. Because again, you're not a full-timer at the Chamber of Commerce, but there is a tremendous staff down there, and having worked with them for so many years, I've got to say they do a great job. They're dedicated, and it's amazing what a small core of people can really do, when they get the support from the volunteers and everyone else. Now, we've talked about many things that are going on. We've talked about September 28th, kind of an important day, the date of the event itself.
That's correct.
And how about your volunteers? How about your committee members? How has that worked for you this year? And actually, I know it won't be long after the event. You'll be looking for people for next year. So what's involved as far as volunteers and, numbers of people, et cetera?
Well, some of the things that the volunteers have to do for the committee itself. One is getting other businesses to come out, be able to support us. When we talk about our prizes that we give away on an hourly basis over there, we definitely need businesses to help us out. If they could donate a basket, a gift certificate, something maybe in line with their own business, maybe a discount card, anything like that. There are T-shirts. We've given away plenty of T-shirts and hats, and so those are some of the key things that we have to do as the committee itself, is to go out and gather that information, grab the gifts and all to bring back there so we can have for folks. Other things we do is we meet a couple times a year, basically going over, discussing with Johanna and all the details of the event itself. I mean, for like this year here, we have some workshops that are going to be going on, which we'll get into a little bit here, but that's part of part of the committee. What type of workshops can we offer folks coming from the general public or even businesses, so that way there we could accommodate everybody. And then the night before the event and also the day of the event is making sure that the volunteers are there, because we have the job fair going on, we have the luncheon, we have the after work party going on, we have people sitting at the front desk making sure that when folks come in, they could check in, they put their little name on a card and all, put it inside the basket so they could try to win the prize, and then making sure that all our events are running properly.
Right.
And so that's the key. And then at the end, of course, the tear down part.
Sure.
And that's the most important, making sure everybody gets in and out of there as quickly as possible.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's quite an operation when you really get down to it in terms of everything that's involved with the Business Expo. Now, by the way, you're watching Middlesex Chamber Today, and we're talking about Business Expo 2015 that'll be taking place September 28th at the Crowne Plaza in Cromwell, Connecticut. Easy exit right off Route 91. So we hope that you'll all have the opportunity to get there. But talking about more things that are going on, you did mention just a moment ago the idea of some of the workshops. This would probably be a good time to talk about some of the different workshops that are going to be offered, Lou, and what kind of things people could be looking for as they go around?
Well, from 1 to 2 o'clock, our first workshop of the day is on cybersecurity. Are you protected? Again, with all the problems that we see today through media, through social networking, folks' computer systems and all, this gives them an opportunity to come in there and actually, hey, are we protected? Are we doing the right things for our cybersecurity itself? At 2:10 to 3:10, we have finding capital for your business to, is it not impossible? Again, this is Jim Jackson over there at the Chamber and all with the Connecticut Small Business Development Center. Again, opportunities for folks. If you're in a small business, hey, how can I go out there and learn about the different ways to gain capital?
Sure.
What do I need to do to go out there so that we could afford to do the things that we need to do, and how can we satisfy our customers? And then finally, our final workshop of the day, number 3, is Unleash the Peak Sales Performance. And again, this is going to be one of the best things. Dwayne Cashman's coming in from Sales Growth Strategies to give us, again, other ways of how do we increase our sales performances. So it's an opportunity for folks that either are thinking, A, I would like to open up a small business, or B, I'm in a small business and how do I make it expand? And so these are the opportunities for folks out there so that they come in and they could at least enjoy and also learn something from the situation itself. Because I know one thing, I want to go to that Unleash the Peak Sales Performance so I can make my sales performances go a lot higher.
Sure, sure. Well, it makes absolute sense to want to do as much as you can for your businesses and for the general public to see just how things are working, how things work. There may be some people out there who aren't chamber members yet who are thinking about getting started in a business. The idea of where do you get capital, how do you get that started. There are going to be many people, the networking, as you said, the opportunities to talk about people who might be in a similar line of business as the interest you might have, or if you're out there, general public, and you're looking for certain services, just about everyone is represented. We've been concentrating mainly on the commercial aspect, but you have a lot of presenters, a lot of people who have booths out there who are from either the cities and towns or who are from nonprofit organizations. So why don't we focus on that for a few minutes in terms of what other things people might be looking at besides the businesses?
Well, we have Lyman Orchards every year comes out, and they set up a lovely booth over there, besides with their apples and pies, and of course, you know, that's one of the key things with them and all. But we also have some of the banks perform. We have some of the colleges that are there. Other opportunities, the Connecticut Lottery's there, so if you need to get some lottery tickets, you know, come on down for that. and then the different schools. We have Xavier High School, Mercy, that have present. We have some of the nonprofit groups like the Community Health System that comes in. Again, like I mentioned, Middlesex Hospital is in the back there with their whole expo going on. And then, you know, just a variety of other businesses there that we have. One of the key things, Travelers is there. Again, they've raised millions of dollars, you know, $1.5 million last year alone, just in the Traveler event. And so they have a booth that they usually have each year. And so these are just some of the opportunities for folks to come in here, see the different types of businesses and schools and nonprofit groups that could just expand out every which way and all, and learn something about them.
Right.
I mean, every year I learn something different there, you know. Who can I network with? You know, who could I basically go out there and get some either experience from, or basically the reason I joined the chamber is because it gives me an opportunity to see a lot of folks.
Yeah, oh, it really does. And again, we've talked about the breakfasts and some of the other activities that the chamber has, and the overall networking opportunities that are out there. And this is a big one. This really is a big one. And you know, again, just seeing people roam around, because I've seen it both from the public side, you know, when folks are just coming in, kind of see what's going on, and that has worked really well hand in hand with the work fair, you know, the job fair that the chamber has put on. Seeing people who've come in and they have an opportunity to get their resume out in front of people and do things with that. But then from the chamber side, as a chamber member, being there in the evening is just a lot of fun. You're seeing a lot of people you may already know. You're always meeting new people at the Chamber of Commerce. And of course, a little bit of libation and foods are quite nice. Anyway, we're getting down to about, I'd say, probably about the last 5 minutes or so of our program here, Lou. And just to reiterate the key facts, why don't we give them the where and the when of the Business Expo and a highlight of the day?
Okay, so the Business Expo is going to be held on Monday, September 28th from 11:30 to 4 for the general public, and then after that from 4 to 7 for our executive evening for our members only. And again, some of the key things is at the Crown Plaza in Cromwell, Connecticut. And again, we have many opportunities there. We have the business fair going on, the career fair from 11:30 to 2:30 with over 50 different companies that are there. So if you're looking for a job, from 11:30 to 7, we have RJ Julia out there presenting again for one of the book signings with one of our authors. And from 11:30 to 7, the Health and Wellness Fair. And again, that's one of the biggest things that we have. You know, Middlesex Hospital brings over their staff and all. They give us plenty of opportunities. And the most important thing is they have the flu shot there. So if you need to get your flu shot, this is the opportunity to get it. And again, what a better place.
And you know, in many ways too, Lou, when you think about it in terms of the timing for this year, where it is a little bit earlier, I know there are many people who, when it was the end of October, you know, and even the beginning of November, well, I've already gotten my flu shot. But this might be an opportunity to grab one early, which is always a good recommendation from the medical profession.
Exactly, because the earlier you can get it, the better off it is, and it builds a good immunity in your system.
Very good. No, it's tremendous. And again, some of the people that I think we should thank for their help on this, I don't know if you have any key committee members you want to point out or folks at the Chamber, but certainly, again, some of our key sponsors for this year.
And again, our key sponsors are Comcast Business, Updike Kelly Spalacy from the Meredith Law Firm, and again, Aetna, CIT, Pratt & Whitney, Crown Plaza, Eversource, and again, Titanium sponsor Connecticut Lottery. And a special thanks needs to go out to Johanna Bond.
Yeah.
She works behind the scenes. A lot of people don't realize it, but she does most of the work behind the scenes for us. And it makes me, as the chairman, make my job a lot easier.
Right, right. You know, having worked with the staff down there for many years, it's amazing, as I said, what they can actually do. You know, I did want to spend at least 1 minute on extracurriculars.
Sure.
Because we were talking before in terms of some of your involvement in sports. And, you know, again, do we have anybody from the sports community who's going to be presenting this year that you know of in booths or anything?
You know, I don't know, because
okay.
now that the Rockettes are no longer,
right.
I haven't heard anything from the new team that's coming in town, the Hartford
Yard Goats.
Yard Goats.
The Yard Goats.
The Yard
yes.
Goats this year. I haven't heard anything from them yet.
Right, right.
But I know Travels will be there, of course. And then, but as far as any, I'm not really sure. Maybe we'll be surprised ourselves.
Okay. Well, of course, with Travelers, too, we know there'll be some discussion of a little golf event that takes place every summer. So.
And that'll be going on in August next year, from August 1st to 7th.
Yep, yep. So there are, again, many things that the Chamber gets involved in. And again, through the efforts primarily of volunteers. That's really, I think, been the strength of this Chamber and probably why it's had the success that it has, you know, over the course of the years. But we are at a point where we are winding down our program for today. But Lou, I do want to thank you for being here. And during the course of the program, we've been putting up under the visible screen, we've been putting up the Chamber web address. We've been putting up the telephone number so that people have a way of getting in touch with the Chamber, and they can certainly look there for more information. If you tuned in late, didn't hear something, take a look at the Chamber website. It'll probably be listed there. But certainly the key date is September 28th. That's a Monday, and it is going to be from 11 o'clock? 11:30 until 7 o'clock. So you have got a split between the daytime hours up till 4 for the public, and then the evening for Chamber members only. So it's a great time. But again, Lou, thank you for having been here.
And thank you, John, for having me as well.
Great.
Thank you very much.
And to you, our viewers, we say thank you for spending some time with us at the Middlesex Chamber today, and hope you'll stay tuned for future programs. This is John Guerin saying thank you, and so long.